Well, I'm talking about liquid. Rich enough to have your own jet. Rich enough not to waste time. Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated. They're analysts. They don't know preferred stock from livestock, all right? The new law of evolution in corporate America seems to be survival of the unfittest.
Good evening, traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Tuesday night, March the 20th, 2012. I am your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Stock Sumo.
Hey, good evening, STT.
How are you today, sir?
I'm doing excellent.
That's good to hear. Great morning show you guys had this morning.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, good stuff going on there. Also joining me on the program tonight, we have QT Cal.
Hello, STT.
How are you tonight, dear?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. Just so excited about the interview tonight. It's going to be really great.
It's just great having you on the radio with us.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
All right. Also, joining us on the program tonight, I have Mr. Kopp.
Hey, what's going on, STT, Sumo, and QT? How are you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I don't know if I'm as excited as QT can be. I mean, there was a lot of words coming out there. Or you didn't make any up this time, though.
Yeah, I stuck to the dictionary.
Very good. Also, joining us on the program tonight is Sif the Kia.
Aloha, STT.
How's it going over there, brah?
It's going. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, this should be an interesting one. I'm excited about it.
I can relate to it. It's good stuff.
All right. As everybody knows, here at Stock Traders Talk Radio, it is our pleasure to always have CEO interviews as often as possible. Tonight, we've accomplished it once again. Doing tonight's interview, back from a long hiatus, Mr. Kopp. Mr. Kopp, take it away, sir.
Thanks, STT. We're here with Mr. Billy Stiles, the CEO and President of Organic Plant Health, Inc., stock ticker OPHI. OPHI. Billy is a fifth-generation farmer and has a diverse background in agriculture and professional landscape management. He is a certified turf grass professional, certified master gardener, certified clean stream administrator, and applicator. In this interview, I'd like to cover the information and background of the company itself, its products and features, and the current business activities of Organic Plant Health, Inc. Welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio, Mr. Stiles.
Hey, just call me Billy, and I'm tickled to be here tonight. This is a great honor to be on y'all's show. I know that y'all have a great following, and I look forward to sharing information with you.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I understand you have a radio show yourself. How about if we start right there, and that's pretty exciting.
Well, okay. Well, we got to start up with my lead-off music. Okay, so I get to pick my music. That's one of the great things about having your own radio show. But the radio show came to be because of the success that I had got in my professional career in helping people flip plants. You have people who flip real estate. I flip landscapes, whether you're an institution or whether you're in your backyard. So the radio station came to me, which is WBT 1110 AM. It's every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. till 9:30. It's a call-in show. So we have people calling in with all kinds of problems. We have them calling from all over the country. Literally, they'll call from our local regional area, and it's streamed so they can call from out of state. We have a lot of fun. I bring in a lot of experts and guests from various places around the country, and have had a lot of fun with it. I've done it live from London, live from New York, live from Atlanta, and hopefully someday I'm lucky enough to have it in my own home so I can do it live from my bedroom.
That's when you know you've reached the pinnacle of the top,
yeah.
Right there, right?
That's exactly it.
Well, how about you start off? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask you to tell our audience, what your company does, and go in a little background of that.
Well, as you had stated, I am a fifth-generation farmer. I learned to love the smell of soil at a very young age. I started planting when I was 3 years old. I've been planting for 53 years, if that tells my age, and just loved it. So when I grew up, I became a professional landscaper, and what I did was went to businesses and homes and did fertility. In other words, fertilized their plants. And I could never think of exactly how to put it to make it sound like what I actually really did. So I came up with the words that I am a organic plant specialist. In other words, feeding plants the way Mother Nature intended. No, excuse me. That was a little bit later on. Earlier in my career, I used all the chemicals known to man in my professional career and saw that I wasn't really getting the results that we needed in all the different microclimates that we deal with in the American yard or in the gardens or in agriculture. So we started creating organic fertilizers. I started formulating things for turf, shrubs, vegetables, whatever the crop was that you were growing. We started the company, and the company was founded on education and quality products.
Now, with 53 years, that's a long time to be doing that.
Well, don't be rubbing
so,
it in, okay?
Yeah. Well, I guess, when you sit there and you say it like that, you've gone through all the different, the developments over time, how to do that from long ago, actually.
Well, yeah, one of my first jobs as a kid, really, literally, whenever I was young enough to start driving the tractor at about 5, I spread the manure. We had 500 head of cattle. So, part of our fertility program for all of our hundreds of acres was to spread the manure. Then my father brings home one day this stuff called fertilizer in a brown bag. It's got the little string on it, and you have to figure out the combination. When you pull it, it like zips open, and the whole bag opens up. You say, wow. It still aggravates me to this date. The thing's really hard to, got a great combination on it. So I look at this stuff, and I say, wow, I don't smell like manure no more, and I get to spread this stuff, and it spreads 40 feet wide with this big spreader, and I just love the smell of it. I used to run my hands through it, and, I would notice that they would burn, and then as I grew up and as I grew all kinds of different crops, and we sprayed all kinds of chemicals, and I would come out of 50 or 100-acre tomato patches, look like Casper the Ghost with 10% Sevin dust all over me. I didn't, have no fear of chemicals. I knew I was doing what I was supposed to do. I'd spread the stuff to kill the bugs, but then I started looking at the bugs and started examining them. And then as I got older, I said, something, everybody stops at my house. They want to rub my grass. They want to knock on the door. What are you doing? So I decided to get into professional landscaping, and as I got into it, I started seeking out information from different fertilizing companies. I used all the major brands extensively year after year after year. I saw the effect that they had on the land, just like I did when I was a child. And I started using chemicals to kill bugs and plants that were being destroyed in the urban landscape. And then one day it dawned on me, we're doing it all wrong. My father's fathers are contaminated the very soils that our food came from. They helped feed America, but they killed the soil doing it. And the reality of it is we don't water the forest. We don't fertilize the meadows. We don't put superphosphate on the wild flowers of the world to get them to bloom. But if you want any of those things to happen in your yard, you've got to do that. And so then we came along with the irrigation, and now we water our plants to death. We only have 1% of the water in the world is actually clean enough to use, and the majority of the water use in America today is for irrigation. I do not irrigate my grass. I do not irrigate bushes. I don't water my garden. My daddy never told me to drag a hose out there and water that 100 acres of corn you just put out. So, I have evolved, and I started studying the microclimates of soil structure, the effects of radiant heat, subsoil heat, surface insects, soil insects, the effects of the planting mediums. In urban sprawl, we had such a large need for plant stock that nurseries sprung up everywhere. Where once there was tobacco and soybean, now there was boxwood farms. And you couldn't get enough plants out, as the houses were being built and the country was growing. what we didn't realize is that we were taking a plant. Think about it. When do you feed your trees? Do you have trees?
I do, but I don't feed them.
Okay, well, who does? Okay, if you've got a tree in a forest and that forest is undisturbed, then the microbial populations, the microscopic bugs, as they move through the soil, eating the dead animal, the fallen branch, the leaves, and other living things as they die in there, their waste is the nutrients that feed the world. The microbes are the intestines of our world. That's what cleans our souls. And so we don't feed our trees when we put them in an urban environment. A tree doesn't belong in your yard. You put it there. Or if it's left there because you've scraped away the land, the trees to put your house there, now that's a tree that's been deforested, that's out of place, and America doesn't feed it, or it doesn't care for it, or they think it's a tree. It's like the forgotten plant, but the desired plant. We look for it for shade, but we don't want to give it anything to eat. In a forest, it eats every day. In your yard, it only eats when you throw fertilizer out for your grass, and it doesn't eat grass fertilizer. It needs microbial food like the forest floor. So our plants in America are dying in vast numbers. So as I went through my career, I knew that something had to be done, and I wanted to change the way that America grows. I wanted to get back to the basics of what Sir Albert Howard said, that organics is the way of life, and it always has been. Who fertilized the forest before Justin von Liebig invented fertilizer? The soil.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
You don't have to be a rocket science. It's common sense. So as we start treating plants more like they should be treated, then we start getting nutrition back into our vegetables, back into our food chain. We start getting plants that survive, like Mother Nature intended, before man had to stick his hand into it.
It's fascinating stuff, and I'm sure you can talk about that for a very, very, very long time.
We don't hear about it.
I'm with you, but I'm going to shift gears on you if you're okay with that.
I am.
Yeah, I kind of want to go into your business objectives and your strategies. I mean, tell us about what your strategic direction or your business objectives are.
Well, our objectives are education, to create or to continue to build our model on the foundation of educating the American consumer, the American farmer, on the correct way to grow. Our objective is to spread this message and to build our company to support it across the country. The greens industry, the lawn and garden, agriculture, is hundreds of billions of dollars a year. This is not no small piece of the economy. It's very large. It's over $50 billion just in the state of North Carolina. Now you take all the other rest of the states and you add it up. Our goal is to take our part of that through support and education of those who lack the ability and knowledge to do it and do it correctly.
Now, what's your targeted audience for your products, for your technology?
We're very innovative in developing and building our products. There's great technology coming on board. I have some great microbiologists and chemists that I work with, as well as the things that I already know that we put together and we create our products. We target the American consumer, the American farmer, the person that lives in the high-rise that has a tree, a ficus tree out on the patio, or growing a tomato in a box, or someone who's out on a vast horse farm that wants to make sure that the grazing, the grass that the horses are grazing is not toxic to them.
So
everyone is our target market, and every plant that you see is a potential customer.
Oh, interesting. So it has no limits right now, then.
It has no limits. But I think that as the leader of the company, as a CEO, it's my goal and passion to make sure that we get the message across. Here's a company that not only is deeply rooted in knowledge, we truly care about the American consumer and how they progress. And so we want to carry that message day in, day out in everything that we do. And I'm very fortunate to have a great staff, a great founding partner in Alan Talbert, and all the other staff and family members that work with us that create excitement every day. We literally can't wait to get to work every day. We like vacation like anybody else, but hey, when you love it, it's not a job.
Absolutely. Now, regarding your business plan, what phase or stage would you describe the audience as a snapshot of your current operations?
We're currently in the expansion and growth stage. The R&D work has already been done, though there'll be more R&D as we progress because we have a lot of things. I'm an inventor at heart and soul, and I want to continue to create innovative ways to apply, to teach people. But our strategy is in growth, and we're going to continue to grow our market through our retail partners. We call someone a retail partner, whether it be an independent retailer, someone who carries our product. They don't just carry our product; they're a partner. We help support and educate their staff to make sure that they can convey to people what they really need and why they really need it.
I want to dive a little deeper on that. When you talk about, when you say educate the staff, I mean, I did a lot of DD on your company, and I noticed you do a lot of, forms of seminars, a lot of speaking to a large group of people regarding, educating them on these topics. I mean, that's pretty accurate, right?
It is. You want me to elaborate on it just a little bit?
I do, because I know that, when you have a captive audience and you dive into certain things, and, a lot of the things that you sit there and say, many people will go, it's like a light bulb comes on, and instantly they also become, I would assume, consumers of your products as well because of that. So, yeah, I would definitely like you to go into that.
Every place that we speak, we've been blessed to be. Let me just go back a little bit in time. In an earlier part of my life, I was as a kid on a swing. I would swing real high, and I would try to look over this hill. And as I saw over top of this hill, I was always imagining inventing things. And right at that time of my life, the hula hoop had just been invented, and so. Well, I got off target of why I was wanting to say that. So when I started inventing things when I got older, and this gentleman who was the founder of the Inventors Clubs of America invited me to Atlanta to speak. And, of course, in school I didn't speak. I didn't get up. If anything, I would not do my homework so they wouldn't call on me. And so he asked me to speak, and there was some 600 people in this big, huge library. I got up there, and I froze, and I couldn't say a thing. All I could see was the sweat dripping off my nose, and I just froze, stage fright, whatever you want to call it. And after I finally got to where I could start talking, the people lined up for 4 hours after the show to ask me questions individually about their products that they had invented. So that was the beginning of my ability to get up in front of people and talk. Now I get up and talk about stuff that I not only believe in, but know to be fact because of my life that I've spent in Brownie University. And Brownie University is what I call my education. My education came from Brownie University, and Brownie University is when you're on your knees and you're brown, like I've been for 53 years. I've been in college my whole life. And people see it, and they know that we speak the truth, and we support it with pictures. You can talk all night. You can say whatever you want to. I can say my products are the greatest on the United States market, but I can also back it up with pictures, befores, afters, during, and as they go through the course of the years. How we've taken plants near death and turned them around, not just with the fertilizers, but with the cultural practices and protocols. That's the protocols that you probably saw on the website. It's where we give people a sheet of paper, and it says palm trees. And so now they know what to do to their palm tree. It says St. Augustine, and it gives them step-by-step of what to do with their St. Augustine. But our seminars took me everywhere, again, from the tips of Long Island, out at the nurseries there, to Hamptons, to Atlanta, to right here in Charlotte, and everywhere, from a Rose Garden Club to the Mary Tiller Club to the City Hall of Memphis, Tennessee, to the city of Charlotte. And so it's just like, it seems like it's everybody. I've got 3 calls to speak this week. I just spoke last week at a university in South Carolina. Yesterday I was at a luncheon where I had been asked to come and sit on the advisory board for the sustainable agriculture in the state of South Carolina. So all of these things that this has brought to us as a company, the ability to share it with the public, is it just really means a lot. You know, we're in a business to make money and to increase value for our shareholders, but we're really truly here to accomplish a true mission in life, and that is to run a company that's founded on good agronomic facts and passion.
Excellent. Now, I want to go back to I know I took you down that path, but I thought that was really important to get that out. Now that you're venturing into the expansion phase of your business plan, I mean, what are your expectations, say, in the short term?
Well, in the short term, we want to be very strategic, because that I am. Some people say I'm way too picky, but I like to make sure everything is thought out. I'm already thinking years in advance on products as well as where we're going. We want to make sure that our team is structured well. As we move forward, we want to make sure that all of our associated inner workings of our business is positioned correctly to support us in expansion. You don't want to expand. You can't. Here in the South, we have NASCAR, and you can't run a great team on a half a pit crew. So we need to have a great team, a great mind trust. And that I'm building, and have brought on some key people here recently, and are really getting more and more excited every day. The purpose for us to go public was to allow us the ability to do just what we plan.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to shift on your gears again. Alliances or your strategic partners. Do you have any partners or strategic alliance? And if so, could you elaborate on those topics, specifically focusing on what they bring to your company and how it benefits each of you?
Alliances, gosh, there could be, an alliance could be one of our retail partners, but from inner structure of the business, our alliances with our suppliers, with our raw goods, with our professors, with our PhDs that I lean on when creating and inventing things to make sure that we are correct in our thoughts and accomplishments. Those people are countless. I won't mention them by name, but they're all over the country, and some of them are abroad.
Excellent. Now, beyond the products, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, that's okay. Beyond the products itself, what are the longer-term goals? Say, let's go with 1 year and 5 years from now, and of your company, and how are you planning to get there from here? I mean, specifically commenting on whatever catalysts or milestone events that you anticipate happening over the next year to get to that next level.
Well, we've already got all the steps planned, and as you go down any road, you may find that you've got something, a storm has come and washed it out, and you may have to make a detour, so you plan on detours. Have your alternative plans. But our main focus is our business plan, and our business plan is to strategically grow the company hub by hub. We call a hub individual cities. As we move, we're already in North Carolina, South Carolina. We have alliances with some of. Let me go back a little bit, but alliance with our master distributors. These are people who carry only OPH products that they distribute and sell to retail markets and have their own sales force. We will continue to expand our sales to national known stores through our sales force. Our sales force through our trade shows, through our radio, through our TV show, through our other means of marketing. We currently do TV also.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. You do TV as well.
Yeah, I'm the. You can see some of our segments on PBS For Your Home. It reaches about 90 million households. That's running currently and runs 2 or 3 times in about every city and county in the country every week. We will continue to expand on that with our own TV show that's been offered to us, and we will take that and get the message across from, how does a soybean get into perfume, and why do I even like soybeans, to a variety of other types of topics as we go through, having a great time doing the show. Wow.
How often do you do that?
The PBS one, it runs. What we do is I am what you call the resident organic expert on the show, and I will have segments within the 30-minute show, and they're currently running right now. Whenever we do one, it runs for 3 years, and we have a lot of those running right now in different half-hour shows, but under the same show title, For Your Home. The show that will be produced, that will be our own show, will be Styles in Your Backyard, where we will just have a great time, and it's not going to be about putting a bunch of pansies in a pot. It's going to be talking about everything in the environment, from growing to what's going on in the world. And we're just going to have a lot of fun with it, but we'll showcase our products, showcase conditions, how to avoid them, how to correct them, and the type of products to use. So we'll be able to incorporate our own innovative products into the fabric of America's backyards.
That's amazing, and you said 90 million viewers is what that has?
In the particular TV show that we're in right now, yes. The other one it'll start off smaller. I think it's in something like 50. And then it'll go into syndication, and then that'll expand. It is. I personally, get a lot of, I guess, what you call popularity or fame out of this, but doesn't interest me at all. But I know that it's good for the company. I have fun planting, growing, teaching, educating, and flipping plants. And it gives us a great way to sell our products. I mean, we're sort of like the real thing. We're not just putting some fertilizer in a bag and setting it on a shelf. We live it, we breathe it, and we're going to continue to do that and get that message in every venue, not only on TV and radio, but we're in the process of doing a complete makeover on our website, which is organicplanthealth.com. For anybody who wants to go in there and look at it, go to the photo gallery, look at all the stuff that we do. You'll see thousands upon thousands of more pictures in there, a complete revamp of the whole website. That e-commerce store will emerge from that over the next 90 days. Our goal is over the next year to year and a half to have that to Wikipedia of America. And it'll have hundreds of videos of, for example, me in the backyard, front yard, on the farm, down by the river, up at corporate America, solving issues of things that are declining and how to fix them and how to turn them and how to flip them around.
Billy, that's absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm kind of like in awe a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Normally, when I do an interview, the CEO will plug that probably about 5 times during the interview, and you never even mention it once, and we just accidentally kind of tripped on that, and that's huge. The TV piece. I mean, you're talking about you're reaching that amount of people. I mean, you're getting ready to go full-blown marketing for your products. I mean, in a major way, it sounds like.
Absolutely, and it didn't happen overnight. If I was blessed, I wasn't blessed with an education because I was working on a farm and didn't have time, but I was blessed with good common sense. And I think common sense sometimes is one of the most powerful things in the world. If you believe, if you have passion, if you have drive, there is nothing that holds you back. I see where we're going to be before we get there. I truly do. through the hard times, through the struggle. I mean, when we started this company here in the Charlotte area, here's just a few of the things that we suffered through. We suffered through the worst drought in 80 years. Okay, here's a company that just starts up selling fertilizer and they have the worst drought in 80 years. We have a gas crisis, Katrina, and we don't have any gas during the peak and highest cash earning cycles of our year, which is aeration. There was no gas for the aerators or for the landscapers to put in their machinery to go put in their crop. We had two of the coldest winters in recorded histories. We had two of the hottest continual 90-degree temperatures in our history. And then on top of that, we had the economy. And through all of those struggles, I would change nothing. I believe it wrote many chapters for our future books. It's just, I know that down the road it's going to give a lot of inspiration to other people, to other small businesses, that this is America, and it's my America, and I'm going to, and it always means a lot to me. There is, here you have a man who has no education, but I have nobody holding me back except for myself. So, everyone should be able to do whatever they want to. This is America, and it's going to stay America.
That's absolutely impressive. Well, let's kind of shift over and talk about the potential or actual revenue streams that you have in your different products.
All right. The revenue streams and products, different products can vary. We've got a particular product that we call Jackhammer. Now, Jackhammer, I developed it because I was talking to this lady one time many, many, many years ago. It may have been as much as 20 years ago. And she bends over and she says, "Now, Billy, if you're going to grow grass in my yard, you're going to have a jackhammer. My ground's so hard." And so that always sort of stuck with me. And, knowing soil as I do, I know that I need to have porosity, oxygen. Without oxygen, every plant's a living organism. No two bushes are the same, even though they're the same variety. One can die even when it's sitting beside the other one. So I invented a product called Jackhammer. So it's able to aerate the soil without turning the soil. To aerate the soil without running an aerator over it, a core aerator. This is a product of great, great potential. It's one of our number one sellers. I created another product called Urban Soil Life Max. Now, Urban Soil Life Max is full of microflora, biology, water holding capacity, microbial food sources that takes, when we sweep away the forest floor and we leave, we end up with nothing but the soil that was under it. It doesn't ever go back until man puts it back. And if he's only putting back standard NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and not putting back the elements of life, then that soil is restricted. So Urban Soil Life Max is a great product of ours. Our garden and flower, we have a complete turf care program, whether you're cool season, warm season. If you're growing vegetables and gardens, we've got what it takes for you to be successful in a little bitty setting or in a 1,000-acre setting. If you've got trees, majestic or just starting their life from the acorn, we help you inoculate. Inoculate's a big word that most people may not understand, but it helps put the beneficial fungi in the soil that have a symbiotic relationship with plants that we would find in nature. If we was to go out in the forest and turn a log over, we may see these little purple strands or these little white strands. It's called hyphae and endo and ectomycorrhizae. It was the world's first World Wide Web. There's a fungi that goes from place to place, and it attaches to the roots, and it says, "Hey, root, I'll bring you some water and sugar." The root says, "Hey, I'll give you some sugar." Symbiotic relationship. Now the plant gets water from 100 feet away, not from right there at the point. So that's bringing life back to the soil, and any and all of our products that do that are key and cornerstone products of who we are and what we're trying to do when it comes to helping America change the way it grows.
Now, when it comes to those products, and I know you're definitely a humble man for sure, is when I was checking out all the different retailers that carried your products, especially in the Charlotte area and all of North Carolina. You're in a lot of stores, a lot of garden centers, a lot of places. And I understand you're not mentioning all those different stores and all that other type of stuff, and so you've built this I guess, core base, I guess would be probably the best way to say it, within North Carolina, and had grown out, through South Carolina, I assume Georgia, based off what I was looking at. And now that you're getting ready to go full bore marketing, how far is that reach in the short term?
How far is that what now?
That reach. I mean, that growth that you're getting ready to do with this expansion, geographically. I assume
geographically,
you're just going to go further south, further north.
Yeah. Well, geographically, I'll go back to our earlier part of our conversation whenever I was talking about hub markets. Our intent is to expand strategically, and that is we are a little nucleus here that's going to expand out, just like the major highways of our country. We're going to move up the East Coast into the Northeast. We're going to move south down towards and into Florida, which we have a distributor currently in Florida. We are going to move to the Midwest, and we're going to move city by city. Our sales staff will go as our targeted hub markets. They will enter that hub market. They will go after the retail stores within that area, secure space, and then they'll go to the next city, and then the next city, and the next city. Our TV will help bridge the awareness of who we are prior to us even getting there. That's part of the strategy. How will people know about your products? Well, both internet radio, the internet, our TV, our radio, our marketing, our trade shows, our speaking engagements as we move across the country. So we'll do it very step by step. It's just like planting a field. You plant the seed, and you already are preparing for getting your equipment ready for the harvest. And the same goes for our company. We'll continue to plant the seeds, not only in America, but beyond. My belief is I want to continue to keep going. It's just like there's why stop.
Sure. Now, I did notice that in your I guess what you had as segments or maybe even sectors is regarding your products. I mean, I saw lawn, I saw the tree and shrub area, the garden and flower. Yeah, and the pest control piece, and then multi-purpose, as well as the soil rehab. I mean, you're in everything.
We are. We got some great insect controls. I mean, you can dip your dog into them to spraying yourself for mosquitoes or flies, or if you're traveling and you don't like the bed bugs. This one is a product that we're modifying some of our packaging. And while we're on that subject, if I may, we're completely rebranding the company. It's sort of like we've been in business for 4 years. We have had great success and respect from the communities that we sell into. We have a great following, and we wanted to take our brand to more commercialized skin, if you would. So we've done a complete new logo. We've done new bag. We're working on new packaging for both our liquids, our bottles, and everything that we have, and we hope to introduce that real soon. We're pretty excited about that. Got a great company that's working on that, and that's going to be that will be when the guy finally gets over to the launch pad with a Zippo and lights the fuse on the rocket. But we want to make sure those products are in those packages before we light that fuse. Sometimes it's hard when you're as hard driven as I am to say, "Whoa, Nelly, hold on." But you have to, because you don't want to get, like they say, get the cart before the horse. We need to make sure that everything is strategically in place. The team is completely ready to go, and now we want to go win some races. We want to harvest some great crops, and the only way we're going to do that is to support that consumer, to let them know that here's a company that truly cares about not them just buying their products, but them being successful. And I'm very much a non-waterer. I don't irrigate my lawn. I do not water shrubs. I do not water my garden. The only thing I water is containers, and I teach that message everywhere I go. Nothing lives without water. But who waters the forest? Who waters the meadow?
Sure.
Before we got to that stage of destroying our souls, how do plants survive? They survive because they had
I'm with you. It makes perfect sense. Well, let's do. I mean, what do you think makes Organic Plant Health Inc. a good investment for potential investors? I mean, more importantly, if you had a 5-minute elevator speech that would represent the excitement of the future of your company, what would it be?
Well, it'd be a lot of things, but one is, I always say, if you ever, I know that the world of Wall Street is a little bit different than my wall. My wall is one that wants to continue to move away from itself and continue to expand out everywhere. What makes people, why I think people should invest in us is because of our passion. We are a true company that lives and breathes what we do. Our products are not something that's poured from a vat or from a hopper into something and set on a shelf. It's something that creates life, that provides food for people, that gives people a better way of life, that helps conserve water. We've got over 44 water wars going on in America today. We worry about oil. You better worry about, you can have all the oil you want. If you don't have any drinkable water, you're in big trouble. We need to learn to conserve and to stop putting things carelessly within the land we live. I don't care if you rent. I don't care if you lease. It is your piece of the earth. Everybody, if you don't eat, then don't worry about it. If you eat, worry about it. If you want to continue to eat, worry about it. So, why would you invest in us? Because we're going to help America change the way it grows. We're going to help continue to feed America and teach America how to grow food that is nutritional, to create environments. We've got a great team. We've got great products, and we just got a great message. I know we are the real deal. I'll wear suits and ties, and you can see me on the web in it. You can also see me out in the dirt. This is something that if you invest in us, you're investing in the future of America. We have no limit to clients. Every bush, every cornstalk, every tree, every lawn is a potential customer. Everyone who eats is a potential client. Every plant inside your home can use our indoor organics. What makes our organics different than others? The passion in which I continue to research and capture and deal with the diversity in which we build them with. The care. You'll never pick up a bag of my fertilizer and get dirty. We care about everything.
Excellent. Well, we've covered a lot of information. Is there anything else you would like to address that I didn't cover?
Anything else I would like to cover other than what we've covered? Do we have you asked me all the questions that we had on our sheet here as we have one of those radio moments?
That's the beauty of live, isn't it? You've been there many times, I'm sure. That's the beauty of live.
Yeah, doing live radio can be wild, especially whenever you're not scripting. You're just talking, and that's one of the great things about radio, and one of the great services that y'all offer investors. I'm sure with all the companies that y'all feature, it's a great service. And thank you for even having me on. But if I would say anything to anyone who's listening is to understand who we are. Research us. We're real people. We're a real company. We got real brick and mortar. We're no fluff. We are what we call the backbone of what I think America used to be: hard-working, very determined individuals. And a lot of people have moved away from farming, but there's one thing that all of us have to say about farmers. You can call them a hayseed, you can call them whatever you want to, but without them, none of you would have ate. And we're some of the hardest working people in the world, and that's what you invest in. And that's who we are. So, I guess to end it up would be is, if you believe in us, then, support us.
Excellent. Well, Billy, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to speak to our audience, and also would like to extend you an open invitation to join us on the radio show in the future. And it was really a pleasure to have you on the show.
Well, I hope to, this Saturday morning, let the world know about y'all on my radio show, because I think that y'all offer a great service to all those people out there that are listening. I don't know how many people listen or where they're at at this moment, whether they're in a car or whether they're on their computer or whether they're out in the barn. But I know they listen to y'all. Y'all have got a great reputation, and wow, this has been pretty exciting, and I appreciate you. Again, I can't thank you enough, and my staff and partners can't thank you enough for allowing us to take a little bit of time to share who we really are. Because, one of the things I've learned, and one of the things that when I got on into the world of being a public business, is that people all have an opinion because of public companies that came before us. And we're not some of those companies that came before us. That's just not who we are.
Well, clearly, if anybody listens to this interview, then I think they're going to know that right away.
We tell all your staff,
Billy, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, I will. Well, thank you.
All right, have a great evening.
That was Mr. Okay, you too. That was Mr. Billy Stiles, the CEO President of Organic Plant Health Inc., stock ticker OPHI. Oh, guys, it was man, you want to talk about learning some stuff there, huh?
Oh yeah. He made me laugh when he was talking about the watering. And this is a little out there. When I was younger, my uncle, who was my great uncle, who was a farmer, used to come over our house, and we had a garden in the back, and my mother loved to water the garden, and he would always scream and yell, okay, why are you watering it? Leave it alone, stuff like that. Then he would turn to me and say, go outside and turn that off. And I'd go turn it off and come back in the house, and he'd hand me $1, right? So I learned over time to listen to my mother when my uncle was coming over, and I would go out there and turn the sprinkler on.
Oh, jeez.
That's funny.
That's a true story. That's a true story.
That's an entrepreneur if I ever saw one.
Oh, yeah, but the thing was, he'd even say to me, he goes, come over to my house, I'll show you my garden, and then look at your mother's, and we'd go over his house, look in his garden. He has tomatoes, huge tomatoes, and cabbage and corn and everything else that he was growing, and you go back to our house and you look at our little dilapidated little garden in the back, and it was just pathetic. So, anyway, my real question, though, I do have a question if you don't mind. When you were talking about, using fertilizers and things of that nature, is there a recovery time for that soil to where it comes back to where it may have been way back when?
Well, when you have anything that has a high salt index or that the microbial population is pulled away from, it's just like painting a house. It's going to take a while to get to the other side. When you're putting your inputs in, they start immediately. You have no lag time of growth. You have no lag time of color. You have no lag time of a crop growing. The only lag time is the one that you don't see, and that is that a microbial population that may only be in a few billion, you're not seeing it transform into trillions.
So in your
sort of.
So in your opinion, like when you're driving down, and especially when you go through the Carolinas and stuff, and there's a lot of farmland on both sides of 95.
Right.
You notice that there's those huge sprinkler systems that run off the wheels. They kind of spin in the circle.
Right. I know them well.
So in your opinion, they're an unnecessary need there. Is that correct?
It is. It goes back to Justin von Liebig and Sir Albert Howard. It goes back into forced agriculture. We're forcing plants to grow faster and quicker so that we can get them to harvest quicker. Mm-hmm. We're not letting them grow at the cycles that they would grow in Mother Nature.
Right.
In other words, I want, as a kid, we would take and put ammonia nitrate on corn when it was, up about a foot tall. A week later, it'd be above your head.
Mhm.
Okay, so what do we get to do? We get to make silage, or we get to get corn quicker than we would have if we'd have just let it grow naturally.
Right.
So what we did was we put toxins in the ground. It's basically this, and this is like this all across America. We put all of our plants are on steroids. And now you can tell me what happens to the to all the guys in sports that use steroids.
Yeah,
they break all the records and they die young.
Mhm.
Mhm. Kind of like our animals, right, Billy? In regards to what we eat with the steroid use
your
and everything,
chickens are falling over and having
antibiotics.
heart attacks at 8 weeks old.
Mhm.
Did you know that you can't? You know that turkeys have got so much hormones in them and so many shots in them that they can't breed themselves no more because they're so front heavy.
Mm.
Wow.
And then you eat it, and soon afterwards you go to sleep.
Wow.
Good stuff.
It really is. It's amazing, but it's really common sense. And if people can, as people get it, that light bulb does come on, as Chris said. It does come on, and when it comes on, I'm telling you, they're fans. We'll catch people sneaking into the stores, buying more than what they need because everything is looking so good. They want to put more on, and of course, we won't sell it to them. And we've had people get upset with us because, well, aren't you a store? Don't you just sell stuff? We don't sell it for money. Some people say we don't even we do it. We sell education. Education sells our products.
Right.
And but it's just fun to see people and to be able to flip and turn their world around for them. I mean, you can't get no better than that.
Unreal. Like I said, I grew up around it. Not, it was a little later.
What state were you in?
I grew up on Long Island.
On Long Island. My brother-in-law, which is a disc jockey here in Charlotte, his name's Paul Shadd. He's on one of the most popular country stations here in Charlotte, and he's been the DJ there forever. Grew up on Long Island. And I always thought Long Island was where all the buildings were.
No.
Until I went up there. And then you go out on Long Island, and, man, you got all these potato crops, and, it's just like a wonderful place.
Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar or not, but my uncle actually used to farm where Hofstra University is now. That was his land. Yeah,
wow.
but that was his land by the Coliseum, the Nassau Coliseum, all that over there. Is what he used to farm.
On the island no more.
Well, like I said, he was a very strict man, but knew his stuff about farming. That's for sure. I have a lot of stories I could tell about him. A lot of the co-hosts already know a few of them, but I love that man. He was a great man, and like I said, he always gave me $1 for doing something. So I always look forward to him coming over. That was for sure.
Yeah, he was inspiring you. He was building memories. He was building. Here you are talking about him now. He made an impact, and by being able to make impacts. We'll get people in their 90s. Some customers of ours are in over 100, and to have them come in and just thank us and give us cards, bringing us bouquets of flowers, people bringing us stuff like we've done something, spectacular, when all we've done is taught them how to be, more self-reliant and have more success. Not many stores you go to where you go in and there's all these, like, they're peace offering gifts coming at you all the time, and it's really cool. Because you know that you're making an impact on someone, like your grandfather did.
Yeah, I got to check on. You said you have mosquito repellent, correct?
It is. It's called Eco Cedar, but we're changing the name of that. I was in downtown New York, okay, and I sponsored the Great Rosarians of the World, 2008, 2009, Manhattan, downtown Manhattan's where we had our event. And you'll see some pictures there on the website in corporate associates and corporations in our photo gallery. We had the ambassadors from China and Fate Whitley, which is the ambassador to Switzerland under Reagan administration, all these big-time Rosarians. Well, one of the most famous of all, Peter Bills, which is the not personal gardener, he's the personal, he does, his company is the personal rose gardener for Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles being very big in organics. But Peter Bills asked me to create an organic fertilizer for roses. So I did. And he says, I've been asking people to do this for me forever, Billy. Nobody ever did. You jumped on it. And 2 months later, I had him the formula, I had the products. And he is 18 gold medals, more gold medals than any man alive in roses. He had never endorsed a product in his life, and he endorsed ours. And I think, how does this guy from England ask a little Southern boy to create in the United States to create an organic fertilizer for him that's now used all over the place? Green Bay Botanical Garden, all the roses there use our stuff. The Driving Miss Daisy Estate from the movie, all those roses there, organic plant health stuff. So
really?
And it's just sort of cool to be able to have, it's not just about a few yards. It's about people. It's bankers. It's people in trailers. It's people of all walks of life, all walks of income that just flock to us. And it really is. It goes back to the old thing that I think that I bring to the whole team is that they understand that where I come from, we help people. And you go into a store and somebody's there to help you, not to take your money, get on out of here, go on. I got your money. That's all I need.
Right. Well, if you ever need somebody to beta test your mosquito repellent, I am your perfect person. I now live.
I might have to do that. Y'all might have to be talking about that some on there. Why don't you email me? Email me your.
What I was trying to get at is I now live in Florida.
Oh, do you?
The no-see-ums and all that stuff, yes.
Okay, then what you need to do is to email me your address. As soon as I roll out the new Eco-Cedar, which the name of it's going to change, I will send you some of it, and you can start enjoying life a little bit easier down there. It also repels venomous snakes.
Oh, really?
It repels rats, and not two-legged rats, the four-legged. We got another repellent for the two-legged ones.
Yeah, I've been here 9 years now. I've only seen one poisonous snake. Thank God.
Well, thank God for that. I don't care for snakes at all. I mean, I grew up, snakes all around me, but I just don't. Nope. They spook me for some reason. But I always get called to the rescue whenever people get cornered by them. And I don't know why. Well, I mean, I've saved people off of toilets with a snake at their feet. To women in their houses with venomous, what we call copperheads here. It's just, and I said, why do y'all call me? Do you not? I got to put a sign on me that says, "Do not call, scared of snakes." Also, but, please. But if you're a man, you got to go in. You got to just, like the guy says, you got to suck it up sometimes and do it whether you want to or not. Yeah,
I just had to clear one off our lanai the other day. Little black snake had gotten in, and my wife spotted him and yelled and screamed. No, in the lanai, and screamed in back area by the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took the pool skimmer, and 12 feet away, I casually scooted him out the door.
Did you? And of course, you sealed the area in which he was getting into, right?
Well, I can't. My doggy door. So.
Oh, hey, well, I'm gonna tell you about. You don't want me to tell you about doggy doors.
No, because we're out of time, unfortunately.
Oh, gosh, we weren't still on the radio, were we?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, yeah, the whole thing.
Oh, God, you should have told me. I thought it was private. Oh, man. Hey, well, anyway, so watch the big snakes in the doggy door. I'll leave you with that, okay?
All right. We want to thank everybody for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. Enjoyed tonight's interview. Tomorrow night we have another interview coming up, and don't forget about the morning show starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Stock Traders Talk Radio, wishing everybody out there the best in all your trades, and may your portfolios always be green. Stock Traders Talk Radio, and we are out.
Thank you, folks.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk.